Welcome in, everybody, to the In Off the Bench podcast. I am your host, Jim Cross. I'm joined, as always, by the amazing Ava Garza. Ava, that is a longer than normal introduction video, but there is a reason behind it. I'm going to give you a hint. I'm not going to just throw you out under the bus, but there are 17 strikeouts on that video. What do they all have in common? And your hint is you have interviewed two of them.
Oh gosh. Wait, I was paying attention, but I was locked in on the questions. I'm not gonna lie. So are we talking like who we've chatted with so far?
Exactly. So 17 guests in off the bench.
You're like what?
Yeah, just absolutely carving up all these different guests that we've had on the show. And so it was funny making this video, just found so many clips of them, had to put them on there. And so with that, Ava, tonight's episode, no joke, April of 2020, we started this show, me and Daniel, and we have never interviewed someone from Florida, but we're breaking that 750 plus guests because he's worth our time. We're going to have Liam Peterson on, but before we do, we got to plug the sponsors. Chinook Cedary, 8 flavors, mild to wild, less salt, no sandpaper tongue, the best in the game. Go hit your grocery store, your gas station, have them at the ballpark. You don't want to miss out. Jesus One Apparel, John 16:33, empowering young men and women to be bold in their faith. And then, of course, Old Dominic Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Whiskey, vodka, bourbon, gin, they got it all. But Ava, I mean, we got to get to this. Florida's absolute dog, Liam Peterson. Liam, man, how we doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Better than, those batters that you were carving up. Ava, this may be a blessing that we don't have Daniel. I'm telling you right now, Liam, he's a former national championship pitching coach. He loves to talk pitching. He loves to talk pitch grips. Ava gets lost in the moment, like how long is this conversation going to take place? And if he was here with you tonight with your arsenal, it may take a whole episode within itself.
That's awesome.
All right. Without further ado, Liam, where are you from?
I'm from Clearwater, Florida, which is just a little bit closer to the water next to Tampa. So I tell a lot of people Tampa because not a lot of people know Clearwater unless you're from Florida, but I'm from Clearwater.
So if me and Jim are going to come visit Clearwater, what's one thing that we actually have to do?
I'd say to go to the beach. The beach is super big there. Pier 60 is like the big thing. It's where like everyone goes for spring break. Everyone on vacation only goes to Pier 60. So I'd say just check out the beach and the different restaurants and everything that it has to offer there. But yeah, I think that's probably what Clearwater's known for.
Well, speaking of restaurants, we always ask everyone, what's one place that we have to eat if we come visit?
Kind of shouting out like a small place. It's called Pickles Plus. It's not like all pickles or anything. It's just like a deli kind of thing. But me and my buddies used to go there in high school, and it's just like super small, like family-owned business. It's like the same 4 people working, but they're super awesome. I get a burger from there. It's unbelievable. It's probably one of the best burgers I've ever had. So I'd say if you're down there, definitely try it out. It's a small kind of hole-in-the-wall place, but it's so good.
So growing up, who was your favorite athlete?
Growing up, I was a Rays fan, so I kind of jumped through a lot because we do trade a lot of our players away, sadly. But as far as like pitchers, I'd say my grandpa was super big on Nolan Ryan, so he always was telling me like the stuff he used to do and stuff like that. So as far as like all time, definitely Nolan Ryan and those kind of guys like Randy Johnson. I like to watch all their stuff, but I'd say just like growing up, I was a big Evan Longoria fan for the Rays. He was a third baseman for a long time. He was kind of like the Tampa Bay Rays staple player, but he got traded a couple years ago, but he recently retired.
Yeah, Ava, that's what Daniel talks about here all the time. So Daniel actually lives in Tampa, and it's hard. If there's somebody good that comes through there, like you said, they're going to get traded away. So I'm glad that I'm not a fan of that team because the frustration would be overwhelming. I'll stick to college and know that I got I tell you that bad. I was fixing to run my mouth and run into one. Transfer portals kind of changed that, but typically, like you are, guy, I'm going to get 3 years. I know who I'm rooting for.
So
yeah, it's definitely tough. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, it's tough being a fan because you start liking a guy and then he gets traded to the Dodgers or something and starts balling. But it's cool. We get to see new
They're all
faces.
going to the Dodgers now. I mean, the Dodgers are going to force a lockout with the way things are going. So I think college baseball is a better sport anyway. It's going to be better than ever when people stop watching because of the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's insane what they're doing over there.
So you're ranked as the number 34 overall player out of high school. You could choose any school that you wanted to. So what made Florida the landing spot for you?
Yeah, for me, well, being close to home, I'm a 2-hour drive away, so my grandparents come and the rest of my family come to pretty much every game, scrimmage, whenever they want to see me. If I forget something at home, I just go back and get it. So I really, like, honestly want to stay in Florida. That was kind of a big thing for me, just kind of being around family, but also the weather's, besides right now, usually really warm here and nice. But just talking to Chuck, who I know is at Tennessee now, but he was the one that recruited me here. It just felt super genuine, and it felt like they wanted what was best for me. And on top of him, obviously saying good things about me, but he was also super honest with me about what I need to improve on, and it just made it feel super genuine that they had a plan for me. So, and then when you pair that with their winning history and Sully's success there, it was a pretty easy choice. I got the offer and pretty much committed the day right after, but I think those two things are definitely the biggest for me.
Yeah, like when I think of a kid just growing up in Florida, as talented as you are, it just feels like that's going to be the spot, right? Like I understand there's a whole bunch of schools in Florida, but like you said, with the history and tradition, it just feels like there's no other place. But you get there, you waste no time becoming part of the starting rotation. 16 starts. Me and you talked, before this episode, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. But what I want to ask you is, what's the biggest thing you took away from your freshman season?
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing was kind of the mental side of the game and trying to control my overthinking. I never really struggled with confidence. I always believe like I'm good enough to compete, but I tend to overthink a lot, and it's something I honestly didn't realize until after my freshman year, just going up through those ups and downs like you talked about. But talking to a buddy of mine on the team, and then eventually getting with a mental coach, we started to really dive deeper into those kind of things, and I think it's helped me tremendously.
Yeah, and one of the biggest ups is obviously you guys go to Omaha. It's every kid's dream to go to Omaha, especially as a freshman. It solidifies the school that you chose is a winning program. What was it like, man, getting to pitch on that stage? Obviously, in the highlight reel, there were multiple strikeouts from that. What was it like to get in the pitch on that stage as a freshman?
Man, it was unbelievable. I don't get nervous too much, but I think that was the first time throwing that bullpen before the game, seeing all those people start coming in because we had a rain delay, so we didn't end up playing the game till like almost 1 a.m. So I wasn't expecting much fans, but as soon as they opened the gates, they all came to the bullpen. And I was like kind of a little nervous for a couple seconds, but once you started throwing the pitches, I got back to normal. But it was unbelievable. I mean, it's what I dreamed of coming to college and coming to Florida. So being able to do that was just unbelievable.
That was obviously, it didn't go the way y'all wanted to in the end, but those 4 games, Daniel and me were there, all 4 games coming to the wire like they did. You had comebacks, you had, that game obviously ended on a big time catch by Laviolette. Like that, for a baseball fan, that was the best opening weekend of baseball you can get. And so you obviously pitched, extremely well. It was a really good game and with a really good A&M team. But, coming into last year, you become the ace for Florida, man. You have an 8-4 record, 96 Ks, improvement upon your freshman season in every, stat category. But y'all exited in the Conway Regional. What does the team got to do, obviously, to get back to Omaha and for you to continue to improve, continue to be a leader? What is that next thing that y'all got to do for your junior season?
Yeah, I mean it was tough, obviously going through that. No one ever wants to get bounced in the first round, but like you said, it's eye opening. This year, I think so far, at least just everything we've gone through in the fall with the coaching changes and stuff like that, I think we're such a close group. And not that we weren't close last year, but I think that we definitely could have been a little better chemistry wise. But I think this year our chemistry is really high, and I think that honestly is what propels you so much at the end of the year is just sticking with each other. So I think that we just need to keep sticking together. I'm really confident about our pitching staff this year. I think we have the stuff for it. I think guys just have to go out there and perform, and I think as long as we just have each other's back, go out there, play loose, and have fun, I think at least the pitching staff I think will dominate. Obviously, our hitting is usually always good. or at least like pretty solid. But I think for us, the last few years, the pitching has kind of been a little bit of a scary show. Like some days we look great and some days we don't. So I think consistency this year with the pitching staff is what's going to be a really big factor.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any way for the batting lineup to get better than face you guys in the fall and obviously in the early spring before the season starts with guys like yourself throwing. They're not going to see better than that anyway. And so, what better way to prepare? But I don't get to ask this question very often lately, Ava. We've had a lot of either transfers or younger guys, and so a guy who's got 2 seasons under their belt in the SEC, you've gotten to pitch everywhere. My first question is, where is your favorite place that you've played outside of Gainesville, in the SEC specifically?
Yeah. For me, it's definitely between LSU, Arkansas, and Mississippi State. Sadly, I really like Arkansas. I think the calling the Hogs thing is super cool, but I didn't pitch my freshman year there. I got hit by a line drive the week before, so it's between Mississippi State and LSU. And I think when we went my freshman year, LSU had like a top 3 crowd all time. And calling Baton Rouge, I thought was the coolest thing ever. I thought it was so cool. So I think I'd probably go LSU 1 just because I didn't really get to experience that Mississippi State, atmosphere when they were good because they kind of struggled last year, so they didn't necessarily have the greatest crowd. So right now, the coolest atmosphere was LSU, and it hurts to say this a little bit, but when I gave up back-to-back homers, they did the Tiger chant, and I think that was the loudest the stadium's ever been. So I give a lot of credit to LSU.
Hey, but you're a team guy, and we talked about it. Y'all won the series, so y'all came out of Baton Rouge as the winner. So you just sweep it under the rug. But I will say this in defense of Starkville, I was there for their record crowd against Ole Miss in 2024, and even on a bad season, when you have your in-state rival come in, and then they ended up walking it off with Dakota Jordan. So it was pretty cool. And so I've been there. I was with the record against Tennessee with LSU. So you can't go wrong with both. Unfortunately, I didn't have a good Arkansas experience. I made the mistake of actually wearing LSU in there. I was getting cussed at from the first second I walked in. Never again, Liam. I've learned that at some of these places, if I want to get the real experience, I need to go when my team is not involved, or if I do, not wear anything that shows, because it gets a little hostile. So when I come down to Gainesville for the first time, it's not going to be when LSU plays. I'll pick when somebody else. That way I have maybe it will be Arkansas, so I can root for Florida.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had to do home runs in left field in their hog pen before when they would fill it out. And the dudes, they're super cool to me. I don't know if they just don't like Florida, or they just were talking crap about our football team. I was like, dude, I don't play football. I don't care. But I could see how they don't like LSU.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, and in that year when we came in, I think they were number 1 and we were like number 5. So it was a pretty big deal. I will ask this about Starkville. Tell me you at least got fed, because that's one of the staples of playing in Starkville. They always feed the opposing team.
Yeah, we didn't. Our Friday night game, somebody did. We're not like we weren't supposed to take it, but between me and you, someone took like a hot dog and said it was unbelievable. But we play them on Easter weekend, so Sunday they had like a little egg hunt kind of thing. So we didn't really get to go out to the outfield I didn't get to try any of the food, but I know someone sneaked a hot dog and said it was really good.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories was Luke Lipsy is talking about when they won that game 27-2 when Tennessee did. He was like, man, and then they fed us incredibly. He's like, I'll be honest, after we did that to their team, I wouldn't have gave us food. But so no, it's usually good. Next time, do y'all go there this year?
No, we don't play them at all this year.
As I say, you can get the food. But the other question I had, and then I'll let Ava get her turn in. Hardest place. That's probably one of my favorite questions, because guys say what environment can tend to intimidate you, get you a little rattled. Is there any place that kind of did that? Like, I know the one that probably stands out the most is typically actually Bluebell, because they say it feels like the student section is right on top of you. For you, what was it?
I really wish we would have played at A&M this year, but we sadly don't, because like you said, I've heard great things about it. Actually going out of the SEC here, I wouldn't say it's super intimidating, but the most uncomfortable I felt because of a crowd was Clemson in the Super Regional. So their bullpen, they actually made it even closer recently, but their bullpen, I'm like right here, and the fence is right here on the mound. So this dude could reach over and touch me if he wanted to. So this dude's like screaming in my ear, and I could like feel him right on top of me. I mean, like he wasn't saying nothing. Like it was funny. Like I actually really enjoy like the fans and like them talking crap. I think it's awesome. I think it's funny. Obviously some cross the line, but I haven't had anything like that luckily
Well,
yet.
the reason
But
I started
that was
headlining
the only
this
time.
is they have now constructed LSU to be that way since the last time you were there. So you'll see that this year. Me and Ava think it's kind of dangerous because the fans have like full access to that bullpen area, and I just think there's too many drunk Cajuns to have that kind of risk. There should definitely be something there, but they have it, and so far through last season, the first season they had it, it was good. As far as people saying stuff they shouldn't have, I was down there one time. I'm not going to say they didn't. It's not stuff I would yell at anybody, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, I saw the upgrades. I didn't know it was that close, but our freshman year, I don't get it too bad because, like you said, like usually they just get a little drunk and then they start going crazy. So at the beginning of the game, they're usually pretty calm. Like they were super cool beforehand, but like this drunk dude is screaming all funny stuff, like nothing too bad. But we still talk about it from freshman year. It was pretty funny.
Ava, all the teams got it worse this year. We had 3 different Friday nights that ended up in 2.5 to 3 hour rain delays that ended after midnight. And in Tennessee specifically, that game ended at, what was it, 2:17 a.m. Ava, yeah, they got some fans that had a lot of hours to drink under their belt.
Yeah. They had enough time to leave and come back.
Oof.
So, Liam, you got a chance to wear the red, white, and blue and represent USA. What was that experience like?
Oh, it was amazing. Like a lot, you hear everyone say like it feels different putting it on, but that was my first time like truly playing for the national team and being able to do it in another country was like honestly one of the most crazy feelings I've felt playing sports. I think it's the coolest thing I've done in my life up until this point. Something I'll probably tell my kids about in the future, but just being able to go to another country where, they don't look up to us, but in the baseball world, they definitely see us as, equal or something they want to play here. So they were all like super cool. But they obviously take a lot of pride in what they do in their own country. So it really felt, I don't even know how to put into words. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. And being able to hear, our national anthem in their country and their national anthem just kind of gives you perspective. But like I said, it was something I'll probably tell my kids about in the future.
So, with this season, let's start with walk-up songs. Do you have yours yet? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, I'm not really good at picking them. Last year I did Beyonce, kind of went a little more of like a funny thing. I wanted to go a little funnier this year, but I couldn't really find a song that fit me well. So I went back to rock or like kind of classic rock. I did Seven Nation Army. I just really like the beat. I don't know I don't know if you guys know it or not.
Yeah. No,
But
I actually did it on my countdown. I did it for Connor Fennell's video.
yeah, so I like the beat a lot, and I felt like good pump up song. Friday nights, get the crowd, get the team going. Um, I kind of want to do something more fun again because I got better last year, but hopefully, this song doesn't matter, so we'll see this year. But that's what I'm starting with.
Ava, that's a good choice. We want something that gets the crowd engaged.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like LSU, we kind of got spoiled with walk-up songs last year because we had some pretty good ones. So like I can appreciate the Seven Nation Army pick though. Like I appreciate that. So what's your favorite uniform, the blue, white, or pinstripes?
I like the white scripts a lot, the Friday ones.
Mhm.
I came here right after they got rid of the white pins, which I really liked a lot. But I'd say like even with just watching on TV in high school, the white script was always my favorite.
I can agree with that. I feel like Jim probably agrees with that too.
Absolutely.
I feel like that was the right answer. So last question, outside of yourself and Aiden King, who are some pitchers that impressed you this fall we should keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I think for me, the two guys I would choose between is Luke McNeely and Cooper Walls. Luke's been on the team. He's been my roommate since freshman year. He was a reliever, started like a few midweeks, but he's trying to make that step up. And then Cooper Walls is a dude from Hawaii who's made a crazy jump. He was like average fastball was like 90 last year, and he's throwing up to 98 now. like sitting 95. So, I mean, his stuff's awesome. It's a funky delivery. And then Luke's the same way. Upper 90s, unbelievable slider. I give him so much credit for his slider. I think he's got the best slider by far on the team and probably a top 5 slider in the country. But those are definitely my 2 picks if I had to choose. You know, obviously it's not up to me, but I'd say those 2 guys are battling it out for Sunday.
Well, between those 2 and then obviously the 2 we mentioned, including yourself, like you said, feel really good about the pitching. We'll see how the hitting lines out. It's a big season, man. When I was going through the SEC schedule, when I was going, studying the rosters, like I feel like the SEC is as good as it ever is. Obviously, we talk about all the guys transferring in and everything, from the smaller conferences. Like it's going to be an absolute gauntlet. I was doing projections and Liam, I tell you, like a lot of people were upset, like, oh, my team's going to go 17-13. My team's going to go 15-15. And it's like, I need you to take a second. I need you to go look at the schedule and then get back to me and see why I feel that way. It's nothing personal against your team. I just don't see many teams running through and just dominating. So we'll see how it goes. But, being you're the first Florida guest for me, Ava, we got to do a new game. Instead of this or that, or instead of blind ranking, we're going to do keep or cut. I'm going to give you 10 options. 5 of them you can keep, 5 of them you can cut. You don't know who's coming. You don't know the order, but what these are 10. So sticking with the theme of the intro video, these are 10 in off the bench guests, elite bats that you face. You get to decide which 5 you want to keep, which 5 you want to cut. You down to play?
Yeah. All right. And I only get one at a time?
One at a time. So we'll start. So you get Trey Phelps.
Oh, no.
So Trey Phelps to start. Are you keeping or cutting? And I this is the one help I give you with the 10. I'm not putting anybody who's a slouch on here, so you're not going to hear any name where it's going to be easy and say cut.
I'll keep Trey. Trey's my boy. Keep.
All right, Ethan Petrie.
Oh, man.
Probably most of them are boys. I mean, most of you guys play together at some point together.
Yeah, man. I'm trying. This is hard. I'm keeping it. I gotta keep Ethan. You can't say no.
Ethan's my boy. It's a 3-time guest right there. All right, Billy Amick.
I'm trying to think of who is in the video so I know what I got coming up. Man, I'm gonna go cut. Not that man, I feel like such a bad person saying that, but
that's the fun. It's intended to be hard. Nothing's ever supposed to be easy in these games. All right, Mitchell Sanford.
Oh man, that dude owned me the first game.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's a couple guys that I had strikeouts with that definitely got a piece of you. Some of these guys you need a rubber match with.
Yeah, it was on the first game. I think he saw like 4 pitches and hit 2 homers and a single. I'm gonna cut him. It's all right. He'll be happy about that. He's happy facing me anyways.
Jace Laviolette.
Yeah, keep.
All right, Andrew Fisher.
I got 2 more to work with, correct?
Correct.
Oh man. Well, I know Gavin's got to be on there. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna
one
cut.
that you probably don't realize is on there. The way that the video edits on TikTok, because I use that as my editing tool. There's somebody that it happens so fast you can't even tell they're on there, and it's a really big name. So I'm not gonna lie to you on that one.
I think I know who it is, and I'm saving it because I think Tennessee guy, correct?
No, LSU guy.
Oh shoot. Oh brother. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna cut.
Cut fish. All right. Dakota Jordan.
How many more total do I have?
You got 4 more total. You got 2 you can keep, 2 you can cut.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna cut.
Smart, because these last 3 are where it's at. All right, Charlie Condon.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep that guy.
All right, the one that you can barely see because it happens so fast is Tommy White.
I struck him out?
Yes, looking, and he argued with the ump. He was not happy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the outside changeup. So it's basically between Tommy and Grahovac.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'm gonna. Hopefully, there's no LSU fans watching because I'm gonna have to cut Tommy and take my boy.
I don't have any issue with that. I am a big advocate of Grohovac. The fact that they had him on no list this year and acted like as if he didn't exist.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a season that everybody's going to remember, and A&M for that matter. Obviously, you're a Florida guy, you're not, but I think it's crazy, Liam, because they have one bad season where they're preseason ranked 1 and didn't meet expectations. No one wants to say that they're going to be any good, and you look at that lineup. I don't know much about their pitching staff, but I can speak to their lineup, and it's all guys who can all rake, and it's just crazy to me that they got them towards the bottom, and it's like we'll see, and Gavin being one of them. So. I think you made the right choice. Got to go with the guy who's playing currently, right? Like you got to face him. You don't give him any extra bulletin board material.
Yeah, another guy is Sorrell too. I think that kid can. He smoked me freshman year. I don't know how good of a year he had last year, but I think he's one of their better hitters.
Oh no, he was great. That was the thing, right? So Grahovac goes down for the season. Sorrell missed the first half of the season. Then Sorrell gets hurt again in the SEC tournament, doesn't play in that final game. You obviously have Jace get hurt. I mean, they dealt with a lot of injuries. They had pitching injuries, and that's the war of attrition is part of the game. That's why I think it's crazy that they act some kind of way. Like I said, the SEC is going to be a gauntlet. No one has it easy. You know how good Florida's going to be. You can go through the rest of the teams, and so it'll be really, really interesting. I'm excited to see you guys. I got y'all on the schedule a couple times. Not in Gainesville though. You're a little far for me. I want to say that's like an 11-hour drive, and so to go to the place where I've sat there and talked bad about people for a long time, Ava. I don't feel like that's the best long drive to make. But Ava, my question for you is, you'll be at the box, right, when Florida comes to town?
Wouldn't dream of missing it. Hello.
You're not gonna boo him, are you?
I won't boo him. Maybe like internally. I'm just kidding. No. No, I'm excited.
It's all good.
I'm excited.
Ava's having real trouble. So she's actually a football reporter. This is her first year with baseball, and she's getting to interview all these guys. And she's messaging me, telling me, I really like these guys. Like, I don't want to root against them. And I'm like, that's the problem I've always had. And that's why I just kind of root for them all. Like, and whatever happens, happens.
The crazy thing about this interview is I think I sent you a graphic of Liam like early on. And you were like, we don't really like interview Florida, but like he's pretty good, man. Like it's kind of hard to pass that one.
I'll be honest, she's the one that said interview you originally, and then me and you had ended up talking, and so it came to be. But you started this, Ava.
Football girl might know some ball, okay?
Might know some ball.
Some minimal.
I gotta ask you about football. How is calling Baton Rouge when it's packed out in Death Valley? Is that one of the craziest things ever?
Magical. You haven't lived if you haven't done it. So I think that I genuinely
wanted to go.
Everyone should do.
I actually think the best scene this year was Florida because it was when we were still ranked in the top 5 and hadn't lost, and then obviously picking off Lagaway like 5 times because I was there. So that was probably the best one because as Ava can tell you, as we started to lose games, those crowds were a little less full and a little less exciting.
It was a hard watch for me because Lagaway is from like really, really close to my hometown. So that was a hard watch for me because like, I'm not going to cheer for Florida or anything as an LSU fan, but you cheer for people that are from your hometown, like you can cheer for athletes and not want their team to win at the same time. You can want them to do good. And I was like, oh my gosh, the entire
baseball tends to be easier. Ava, because one person usually can't dictate if a team wins or not. You rooting for a quarterback is hard because if he's having an exciting game, a really good game, more than likely his team's winning. So it's a little easier in baseball. You can root for Liam to do extremely well and then just hope the guy who follows him up in the bullpen is the guy who gets it.
Yeah, I'll just be like, please let Liam do good. No one else.
Yeah, I was gonna say me and my roommate, me and my roommates from last year, we're going to go up and try to go to the game at LSU. Like you were talking about not wearing I was not going to wear Florida gear there. Would have got like a Paul Skeens jersey or something maybe. But we wanted to go because we see all these videos about calling Baton Rouge at the stadium because obviously hearing in the baseball stadium is sick. But I don't know. That song's got something in it. I think it's one of the cooler traditions.
I think like the most magical call in Baton Rouge I've ever sat through is whenever I was working the Ole Miss game. It was the homecoming game, I guess year prior, so my freshman year. It was crazy. Literally, I don't usually take a step back and like, wow, my job is so cool. But I was watching it from the top, and they had all the light bands on, and everyone was screaming. You can like hear it. There's a glass window. It was so crazy to watch because then you watch it from the field after because they also play it at the end if we win. And I was like, man, I go to a pretty cool school, I guess. Like
that's why I gave my daughter grief. Student there at LSU, Liam. She doesn't go to that Ole Miss game where they have the wristbands and everything. She has a ticket. I've supplied it for her. Anyway, I was like, I want to disown you. Like, who doesn't go to a 102,000 football game? Like, what's more important?
And
Probably wasn't
I would have used the ticket. I'm excited. That's what I'm most excited for is hearing that.
You got to wear the LSU stuff because it's so weird. People will randomly come up and high five you. They're like, "Go Tigers!" It's like a hello, I love you, and goodbye all at the same time. I'm like, okay, dude, never met this person. But everyone's friends. As soon as you're wearing purple and gold, everyone is friends.
All right,
I can't imagine.
We got to get Liam in the Tiger Stadium ASAP.
Yep. All right. So is there anything?
I want to go. I'm going to try next year.
Oh yes, let us know.
I'm trying to go next year.
I feel like Jim you're around-ish for football season.
I mean, I went to 5 games this year, and like I was saying at the start, the first 3 were wins. It started fantastic, and then I could have done without going to the last 2.
Yeah, you're telling me. I had to go to show face, take a picture to send my mom, but I don't want to stay.
We'll see what the lane train is about next year.
We have some pretty cool.
I think you guys are in good hands.
So I'm excited. Liam, is there anything that you want to plug before we close this thing up?
Can you say that one more time?
Is there anything that you want to plug or promote before we wrap this thing up?
No, not. I mean, come to the series versus LSU this year. I don't know. No, nothing really. That's pretty good.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing us average Joes, and as DB likes to say, Jills talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet us on X, watch and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a follow on Instagram. Until then, we'll see you next time.